Good morning and welcome to JBW Designs. I am Judy Whitman. I am the sole designer of this company, and as you know, I've been in business a long time, but I still love what I do. I feel so lucky to be able to work at home. I will admit that I don't usually dress up like this when I'm at home. I'm usually in my very comfy clothes, but isn't it nice to have a reason to dress up nowadays? So let's see, I have many things to share with you today. And the first thing is I want to show you the covers of the new books, because in my last video, video number 10, I showed you models of all the new designs. And at that time, the books weren't finished. So we have finally the books in place. And this is Love, which I showed you and talked about last week, that it was taken from a booklet that I published years ago for a quilting company. I worked it over 2 threads. I also worked it over 1 thread, and it was fun to finish. I think it would be a great piece for a ring bearer's pillow or bridal shower, something like that. So then the next design that came out that we talked about was my Seaside Series. And as you know, I love to do those things that go on, which are great fun. So again, I worked the models over to the little sailboat and the umbrella, and they're all filled with little motifs that are similar to what you would find in a sailboat theme or a sailing theme or seaside. And then the ones on the cover were worked over 1. Then another one of the new designs, and I'm still waiting on the frame, I just got word that it's being sent tomorrow, is the chintz alphabet. And this is what the whole design looks like. And of course, this design was based on the china that I have that's called chintzware. And it was really a fun piece to put together. And then the 4th design that came out, just I think a week ago, I just sent the books out to the shops, was called Love in the Round. And again, I worked it over 2 and over 1. I used a little jar from Hobby Lobby and to make the lid of the over 2 design. People are having trouble finding the jars, but I was just there at the store yesterday, and they might not have ceramic jars, but they have lots of glass jars with nice lids that could be used for any of the round designs. And then I also found a little tiny, about a 2.5, 3-inch glass jar that I used for the lid for the over 1 model. So those are the 4 new titles that just came out. And today, I think I told you that my theme was going to be Valentine's. It's getting awfully close, so I better get this done. I don't have many days left. So I thought I'd pull out some of my models that have hearts in them that you might enjoy seeing in person. All of the things that I show you are books that are still in print, even if the books were published many years ago. For the most part, I'm still reprinting. I do have probably 100 to 150 titles that are out of print or very low stock. So if you can't find something, always just write to me and ask. So the first model that I want to show you today is kind of an unusual finish, but I love how it turned out. And I'm going to show you the original model of this piece and then this particular one. So this is French Country Love. And if you study the wording, I'll show you on the other one too, the heart is made up of the words love written over and over again, and then it's just a little leaf and vine border. But what I like about this is it's a small piece, but if you mount it like this in a bigger frame, I think it's quite charming and nice to hang. So that is the first one. That was French Country Love. This was the original model of that piece. So you can see it was worked over 2. And let me show you what that book looked like. So you can see there. You could also, if you wanted to, just take the heart and work the heart in this piece and not do the border. So that's one suggestion. So the next model in the Valentine theme is called French Country Amour. And this was published quite a long time ago, but I still think it's charming. It's easy to stitch because it's so small. So I stitched that again over one and put it in a tiny little frame. And I also stitched, and I don't think I have a picture of it, oh, it's on the back of the book, I stitched a little scissor fob using that same design. So this is French Country Amour. I'll show you the model again. And all right, so the next thing on my list is one that actually appeared this week or last week whenever I had my contest. You know, I have this Friends of JBW Designs Facebook page, and it's not an exclusive group. You just ask to join and everybody is allowed in. And I've started doing contests about every other week. And last week I did, I can't remember the 3 designs actually, but this was the winner of the 3, and this is called Alphabet Hearts. And it was finished into this beautiful bolster by my finisher. I've showed you bolsters before. I have several of them. I just love the way it looks. This was very popular. People just loved it. And I'll show you, this is what the book looked like. So Alphabet Hearts looks like this. Let's see if I can open it up. All right, I have a number of series that are long and narrow like this. So Alphabet Hearts is pictured there. And then, let's see, the Great Pumpkin Alphabet and ABCs and Christmas Trees was just pictured there. Let's see if there's anything else here. And the chart, of course, is on the inside. So that was Alphabet Hearts. Put that to one side. All right, of course, 2 of the new things that I just showed you, the books of, that were just published, excuse me, fall into the same theme. Of course, love could fall into our theme this week, and Love in the Round can fall into our theme this week. And I have a few more to show you. So, all right, the next one is called With Love. And I did this actually in 2 different ways. Let's see, okay, here is the picture. Let me fold this of the design that was finished for the over 2 model. You can see it was finished as a box with a beautiful lace trim on it. That is what that looks like. It's a heart made up of roses. And then this is what it looks like in the finished model. And this is actually a pin. You can see the little pin piece on the back. I love how that turned out. I think you're probably getting tired of hearing me say, oh, I love how that turned out. I guess when you're a designer, you have to like what you do, right? So I have a few more things to show you, and then we will move on to other topics today. This was a kit that came out several years ago. I still have a few in stock. If you're interested, just email me. I'll give you that email address later. And this was called Love Always. And this is what the finish looks like. It's just so the kit comes with the fabric and the little tiny buttons and the ribbon for the trim and the cording, the floss for the cording. And this is what the back of the kit looks like, and here's what the front of the kit looks like. So that's Love Always. And then if you think about it, I have several books that actually fall into the Christmas category, but I see that they have more potential than that. And that is, if you look back at French Country Hearts 1 and 2, which look Christmassy in red, you could actually stitch them in a pink or some other color that you wanted to look spring-like. And these again are very fast because there are 3 designs in each booklet. And I actually stitched one of them, and I'll tell you about another project I'm working on. I'm working on an ornament book, and I needed to stitch quite a few more ornaments. And this came out of French Country Hearts 1, and I stitched it on red. And that's another thing for you to think about, switch your fabrics around and use different fibers. And somebody asked in a video once if the designers are worried about that. Not at all. I love seeing what you do with my designs, changing the fabric, changing the colors. It just is amazing. And that's why I have the friends page, because I want to see other things that you've done that are unique. So that is the end of my Valentine heart theme part of my program today. But I have many more things on my list to tell you about. So as you know, I've been trying to feature a shop every time I do a video. And the reason for that is we want to keep our independently owned needlework shops in business. And as you can imagine, this has been a very rough year for most of them. They can't have many people in the store. They can't do the kinds of events that they've been used to doing. So I'm really trying to promote your support of the independently owned shops. And that's why I'm featuring a shop each time. So I thought I'd choose one on the other side of the country. The one I chose last time was just stitching, and Shelley is trying to think of the name, Strongsville, Ohio, which is just outside of Cleveland. So now I've chosen another one on the other side of the country, and this is Acorns and Threads. And Janine is in Portland, Oregon. So very, very West Coast here. And she has been in business the shop has been in existence actually for 25 years. And Janine has owned it since 2005. Let me tell you a little bit more about her shop that she wrote to me. They do a monthly mailing for series. They have a page on their website for exclusives that are only available at Acorns and Threads. And they do, as you can imagine, quite a large mail order business right now because of the situation that we're in. And the shops that I'm highlighting in the next couple weeks are shops that are on my automatic. And I think that I've explained what that is, but they're my faithful customers. That's the bottom line. They will take every book that I publish and automatically order it. So as soon as new books come out, my shops on my automatic are the first to receive the books. So Janine has the new books, and Shelley, who I talked about last time, has the new books. And so let's try to keep them going. We want to keep them in business. There's another event coming up that designers are getting ready for. And I don't know if you read about it or not, but it's called Needlework Expo. And it's only open actually to shop owners. And it's a virtual show, so this is quite different for us because we were supposed, Yarn Tree, which is one of our distributors out of Iowa, puts on a wonderful show every year in Nashville. And it was supposed to be in March, and then because of the COVID, they moved it to May, and then they still felt that it wasn't going to work yet. So they canceled the show. And thankfully, Janice from Noteworthy Needle stepped up, and she has organized a virtual show. And I haven't quite all figured this out yet. Thank goodness I have an assistant, Dawn, who will help me through the steps. But what each designer will be doing will be, in essence, having a virtual room. And we will show our newest designs, designs that came out, like I will feature the ones that just came out in February, late January. And then I'm going to also show designs that I've done over this past year that they have not seen. So it starts on March 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's going to be interesting because from what I understand, we will be waiting for people to enter our room so that we can visit with them and they can place their orders. So next time I do a video after that, I will let you know how does that work and how does it go. So I am working on 4 new releases for the Needlework Expo, and so that's keeping me very, very busy. I have a funny question for you. This is completely off topic, but in a way it's related to what I'm working on. So I am working on antique samplers in my collection, reproducing them. And I have one sampler that was done by a little girl named Berta Heinen, Heinen. And in the middle of her sampler, in the middle, I mean under an alphabet in the middle of nowhere, she has written the words DENKE and then space MEIN. And when I look up the translation, it says thank my. But I am not sure that that is correct. So if there are any in our audience, our viewers, who can help me out, please leave a comment, and maybe you can help me work through this. I've also written to one of my shop owners in the Netherlands and asked her for some help too, and she's been working on this for me. So I thought I'd just throw it out for the group here. I found out when I talked about my newsletter last time that the newsletter link on my website is missing. And Dawn promised that she would put that back soon because I do a newsletter once a month, and you'll want to see hopefully what's new. My email address is judy@jbwdesigns.com. If you have questions and you need to contact me directly, that's the best way to reach me. Let's see, what else can I tell you today? Oh, one more thing. I mentioned that I've been working on another ornament book, and so last week I was like a finishing crazy lady. I had stitched 10 new ornaments for this booklet, and the ornaments are quick to stitch because they're little. I can do them in usually in one night. The finishing, however, took me a little longer, and maybe in the next video I'll tell you about some of the roadblocks I ran into and then how I figured out how to make it better. But so going with our heart theme, this is one of the ornaments that will appear in the new collection. And I love how this turned out with the little pom-pom trim. You can see the heart fabric on the back. Another ornament that I finished that will go in the booklet has little hearts. Can you see them on the branches of the tree? And that was finished with a little star fabric with cording around the edge. And as I said, I did 10, but I'll show you 4 today, and then I'll show you 6 the next time. So another one that I did was from one of the tree collection booklets. And incidentally, these ornament collection booklets, which I've shown you before, each booklet has 20 ornaments in it. But the wonderful thing about it is they come from 18 to 20 different books that I've published in the past. So it's really inexpensive way to get a nice collection without buying 20 books. You just have to buy one. And then this is another one that I did that would be darling for a baby, a little rocking horse. And then I put a little star fabric on the back. So let's look at my notes. Where have they disappeared? So that is the program for today. And there was a little pause in the video. I don't know if it's working or not. We hope so. I want to thank you for watching. I'm always so appreciative of your time and your comments. I love reading those. And if you're interested in seeing more, please think about subscribing. And until next time, my tongue is all twisted up here. I look forward to seeing you again and talking to you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.